So I recently heard this joke, and I think it's a great place to start a discussion today on what it truly means to be a disciple. Here it goes. A young man was hiking near the mountains, and he saw a monastery in the distance. And moved by the spirit, he decides he wants to join. The head monk welcomes him and tells him that monks in this monastery take a strict vow of silence and are allowed to say only 2 words every 10 years. The young man considers this for a moment and agrees to join the monastery. After 10 years, the man appears before the head monk and says, "Bed, hard." Another 10 years pass, and he stands before the head monk and says, "Food, bad." 10 more years pass, and he is once again before the head monk. "I quit," he says. "Well, I'm not surprised," says the head monk. "You've done nothing but complain since you got here." So why did I start with that joke? Well, first, because it's very witty. It made me laugh really hard the first time I heard it. But second, and more importantly, I bring it up because it highlights a larger point about how following religious rules is not only difficult, but it can also almost seem ridiculous at times. It is that ridiculousness, in fact, that gives the joke the fodder for the punchline. So, as Christians, why do we follow these sometimes ridiculous seeming rules? Like, does God really care if we eat meat on Fridays? Is He really taking attendance at Mass? Like, who cares if I don't go to church every week? I'm still close with God, right? If that's how you think about things, I don't blame you. I used to think about religion the same way. That is until I understood what it truly meant to be a disciple. The word disciple has the same root as the word discipline. So to be a disciple, you must have discipline by definition. Following religious rules, even if they at times feel arbitrary or capricious, are serving a different purpose than you may initially think. Fasting, like for meat on Friday, is not only a healthy thing to do, but it shows your ability to resist the wants and needs of this world, albeit for a short while. And this resistance is everything. How do you build muscle? You lift weights, right? How does that work? The weights act as resistance against the muscle. It is this resistance that builds the muscle. You see where I'm going with this, right? By resisting the things of this world, as Jesus instructed us to do, we are building our spiritual muscles. And it is only the spiritually fit that enter heaven. To stick with this metaphor, one could think of purgatory as the gym the unfit need to go to in order to train and get into the correct spiritual shape to get into heaven. Our resistance to the things of this world shows our discipline, and this discipline, by its very nature, makes us a disciple in the truest sense of the word. So no, I don't go to church every week because God's taking attendance in order to punish me later. I go to church every week because it's making me more spiritually fit. I go to church every week to show God I'm willing to be strong for Him. The more difficult these rules seem, the heavier the weight you are lifting. So if it seems difficult, good. Just means you're doing it right. Just watch how spiritually strong you will become once you truly become a disciple of Christ.